Hey everyone, and welcome to week 37 of baby girl's pregnancy. We are officially considered full term now, which means it's okay if baby girl were to come now. Her lungs should be fully developed to be able to handle the world on her own. But as usual, it would be a little bit better if she stays in for the next 3 weeks and reaches the 40-week point would be ideal. But not too ideal because I have been so uncomfortable. This last week I haven't been sleeping well, and so I've been skipping out on my naps to try to think, well, maybe if I skip my nap I'll be so tired at night that I can sleep a little bit better at night. Not happening. I actually did last night sleep a little bit better than usual because I have just been exhausted, and it was just when I slept it was a hard sleep, but our kids aren't feeling very well, so I kept on waking up every time they were coughing. I'm not feeling very well, and it's just, I'm ready for her to be here, and I'm ready for this to be over with because I woke up this morning, my back has been aching all day long, my stomach has been aching all day long just from the weight from the baby, and there's really not any comfortable position for me to get in that makes things any easier. Along with being at 37 weeks means I need to be ready for whenever this baby decides that it's time to come. So it is time to pack my bags finally. I finally got my bag all packed. The baby bag was more fun and exciting to get all packed up before. So let's see what all I packed in my bags. First, let's go through baby girl's bag. I have a few gowns for her after she's born. Sometimes the hospital has some gowns, but these are just fun, cute ones that she can wear on her own. And then some onesies to keep her warm underneath her gowns. Got some cute little ones. And then at the hospital, they also said that they don't really recommend onesies too much because of the umbilical cord. And so they'd rather have just little shirts. So I have those as well. We'll see which ones we end up using. I'm also bringing our own swaddling blankets. And I'm bringing a couple of them just because you never know if she's going to have a blowout or not. And also just a regular receiving blanket. I'm going to have a nursing cover. Got to feed the little one. Some burp cloths and a changing pad. Probably won't need it, but just taking it just in case to be prepared. I'm packing some socks. Probably way too many. Again, it's so hard to just pack what you actually need. It's so easy to overpack. But I'm just planning for blowouts and messes, and you never know what's going to happen. And then some cute little bows to go with her little outfits. Got to take some cute pictures while we're in the hospital. And one of my favorites, her little take-home outfit. Make sure you have that in the bag ready to go. Since she is a winter baby, anyways, you usually have little regular hats for the baby to wear. And they'll probably have one at the hospital, but some of these are just for pictures. Some of these are gifts, and a really warm one in case she is born on a very, very cold day, or let go on a very cold day. Also packing some pacifiers, which I probably don't need because the hospital will provide those, but just have them just in case. And last but not least, her baby quilt that I finally finished, and I'm just going to have that ready so she can have that as soon as she is born. Alright, so that's everything in her bag. If you notice, I did not put any diapers in here. The hospital will provide those and wipes, so no need to pack those. Alright, so first things first with my bag that I need for the hospital. I already have my socks and underwear and bras in there. I actually don't recommend going out and trying to find nursing bras right now because you don't know what size you're going to need until your milk is completely in. So I highly recommend waiting until your milk is completely in before you go out and go shopping and spending all the money on those. But you can get like a sleeping bra or something for nursing if you want. Or my favorite is probably Target has the nursing tanks that you can get, which is the first things that I'm going to put in here. I have a couple nursing tanks that just unsnap. And those are always handy to have and usually aren't going to change after your pregnancy of what size you need. So I have a couple of those. I also have 2 gowns because depending on how many nights, if I stay 2 nights, I might need actually 2 pairs of jammies just because you don't know how the recovery is going to go. And if you're going to bleed through a pair of pajamas or whatever, just to be clean. Of course, you got take-home outfit or just regular clothes. Again, not knowing how long I'm going to be, I'm just going to take 2 outfits, and that's going to be as good as it's going to get. And also have a bathrobe for labor and delivery and afterwards, whenever, nice and folded. Just shove that in there. My toiletries, I already have these actually all set. Have a toothbrush in there ready to go, so I don't have to try to remember my own shampoo and soap and everything that I'll need, a hairbrush and whatnot. And then also I've heard at my hospital that there is no mugs that they give you. So I'm packing one of my mugs from a previous pregnancy because they're just so nice to have. And then also bringing some snacks, depending on what time I go into labor, if I don't know, just some snacks is what's highly recommended, to have something for you and your husband to snack on after the baby is born, or maybe during the delivery, on however that goes. So there's my bag. Oh, last thing. I love chapstick, and so each pregnancy I go and get a brand new thing of chapstick that I can have, and then also I'll have my headphones so I can listen to some music during the labor and delivery or afterwards or something, just to entertain myself depending on how long we're there. A couple other tips besides having the bags ready for the hospital is also having yourself prepared for whatever is going to happen. I have actually been blessed for my water not to break before my contractions start. And actually they had had to break my water in the hospital on both of my pregnancies before, but I have to prepare just in case anyways. For my last 2 pregnancies, we actually got like one of those vinyl zip up covers that go all the way around the mattress to protect the mattress in case my water broke while I was sleeping in bed. But this time we used that cover when we moved and it got ripped and everything, protecting our mattress, which was good. It did its duty. But this time, instead of having to go out and buy another one of those covers, I have just put the little, I don't know, these diaper changing pads that you can get. I actually have bigger ones than this that are on my bed, just in case I have my water broken in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping. Those are there to protect the mattress. And also, because you don't know when and where you're gonna be when your water breaks, it's always good to have the cars or your purse or anything stocked with maxi pads, because you don't want to be left out somewhere in trouble whenever that happens. My doctor's visit this last week was not that great. I had probably my least favorite doctor that I went to out of the office last week, and I have her the next 2 weeks. So I'm kind of thinking that these are kind of going to be pointless meetings before the baby comes. Went in there, she doesn't stay in there very long at all, no small talk, just in there and out. And all she told me was, well, looks like you're about where you were last week. And that was pretty much it. I also did my weigh-in, which on the scale, I don't know. The nurse that I went back there with just kind of like flung the scale over, like, I was like, whoa, sorry, you're not that heavy, definitely. And then kind of just like moved it over a little bit quicker and did it, and didn't even let the scale like zero out. So she wrote that I had gained 3 pounds this last week, which I was hoping not to, because I had gained 3 pounds the week before. So that's 6 pounds in 2 weeks, which is not good coming to the end of this. But then this last Saturday, Weight Watchers was having a special day where people could go and listen to other people tell about their success stories. So I went, and they were nice enough to let me weigh in there, and my official weigh in there would say that I had only gained 1 pound this last week. Again, all of this is just up in the air because I don't trust the scale at the doctor's office or the nurses, whoever's doing it, and how their technique is. So I either have 5 or 2 more pounds left until I'm at the high end of what I'm supposed to gain for this pregnancy. So we'll just see. But baby girl is weighing in at around 6.3 pounds this week, and she actually has felt like she has dropped a couple days this week. One day for sure, I was laying in bed for nap time or rest time, and I felt the funny movements, kind of what I had felt with Hannah and Zeke whenever they had engaged, and had definitely dropped. And so I felt movements that were kind of like that. And then after that, like when I had gotten up, like since then, I've had a whole lot easier time breathing, especially during Braxton Hicks contractions. So with those two indicators, I'm pretty sure that she's dropped. I am so frustrated with myself though that I did not write down in Hannah and Zeke's books when they dropped, because I would love to know like what my time frame was after they dropped, between them dropping and when I went into labor. So I don't know how much longer. Could be the full next 3 weeks until she gets here. I'm really hoping not, just because this one seems so much more uncomfortable. And I think it's just because each pregnancy is supposed to get harder each time. I don't know. I'm not an expert at this. All right, so that's it for week 37. I'll see you next week for week 38. Only 2 more to go. Crazy. Bye.